Diamond YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Theme Deck Corner. Oh, it is really nice to say that I love this series, and I think you guys do as well. Make sure to hit that like button if you guys are happy that this series has made its comeback. It has been a while. I actually took a look in the last, while I was editing the last video, and it's been since June that this series has been AFK, or away from YouTube, away from your guys' viewing pleasure. I either couldn't find any decks, or there weren't any coming out. But the next little bit, there will be a ton of Theme Deck Corner episodes, hopefully, so you guys have that to enjoy. Okay, so for this one, we are looking over the Ring of Lightning theme deck. Now, this one is based around, well, let's get that cursor on the marker. There we go, Hoopa. This one's based around Hoopa, 130 HP, Psychic type Pokemon. Rings of Lightning, the rings around Hoopa's wrists, are going to be shocking you into this battle. I think that was terrible, but that's alright. Hyperspace Punch is our first attack, 1 colorless energy. This attack does 20 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. That's right, for 1 colorless energy, we can do 40 damage, which is really good. 20 to the active if we want, 20 to a benched. Hyperspace Punch is going to get some stuff done. What's nice is we get to kind of prepare our opponent's bench Pokemon before they attack, so that gives us the opportunity to get a bit of leeway. Now, he's also got an attack very similar to Volcanion and Portal Strike. For the same cost as Volcanion Steam Artillery, Portal Strike will cost you 3 Psychic Energy. It's going to actually do 30 more damage. It's going to do 130 damage total. So this is pretty much going to knock out anything on your opponent's side of the board. This thing is a monster. The only downside to it is this Pokemon can't use Portal Strike on the following turn. So you got to take it with what you got. Will Hoopa be able to keep up with how Volcanion's Steam Artillery kind of demolished the opponent's side? Or is Hyperspace Punch going to be our winning ticket to getting our opponent down a little bit? Anyway, we're moving on. Our stage 2 in this deck is Ampharos, which his ability means nothing in theme deck format. Means nothing. 140 HP, lightning type Pokemon. It is a stage 2, has Shocking Light. Once during your turn, you may put 3 damage counters on one of your Pokemon, or your opponent's Pokemon EX. This does nothing in theme deck format since we don't have any Pokemon EX we play against, so I'm a little disappointed this card made it into the theme deck. I love Ampharos, and I like this card a lot. It's a really cool tech. If you guys haven't used it, try it out. I'm not saying it's overly competitive, but you can partner this thing up with a Gengar. Again, you're looking at 2 stage 2s though, so it's really hard to say. But you have Gigavolt, 2 lightning energy, 1 colorless, 80 damage, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 40 more damage, but if tails, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So either a knockout or a special condition. Either way, we're doing some pretty cool things with Gigavolt, so Ampharos has still got some viability in this deck. Now, we're going to get into the other little Pokemon in this deck. There's only one non-fully evolved Pokemon like last time, and that is Lampent. Lampent is an 80 HP Psychic type Pokemon, stage 1 with Mirror, 1 colorless. Each player either draws or discards until that player has 4 cards in his or her hand, which is a really cool thing in this because you may run out of cards early. So Mirror will help us either keep our opponent's cards at bay and help us draw, or vice versa. We'll see how it goes. We also have Flickering Flames, 1 Psychic, 1 colorless for 20 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. I prefer this one a lot more than Monferno. Monferno had the straight 1 energy for damage, 2 energies for a little bit more. This one has a few really cool attacks that makes him actually playable. So we'll see how he goes. Starting our actual regular spread, we have Ambipom, 90 HP, colorless Pokemon, Fury Chance for 1 energy. We get to do 20 damage, discard the top card of your opponent's deck, so we get to mill a little. If that card is an energy, this attack does 60 more. Amazingly, in theme deck format, there is a ton of energy. Almost a third of the deck is energy, so we have a pretty much 1 in 3 chance of doing 80 damage for 1 energy. Ambipom might actually be pretty good in this deck. We also have double hit for 3 colorless energy. It's going to do you get to flip 2 coins, and for each heads, you get to do 50 damage. So not as reliable, to be honest with you. I kind of like Furry Chance better. Our next little colorless Pokemon is Hawlucha. Sun Cyclone is its ability. He has 80 HP. He is a colorless. He has Sun Cyclone as his ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may have your opponent switch his or her active with one of his or her bench. So they do get to choose, but if they want that attacker in the front row, they're not going to have it when Hawlucha drops. Next up is Acrobatics. For 2 colorless energy, we get to do 20 damage, and we get to flip 2 additional coins, 20 damage per head. So we can do a maximum of 60. Not really strong, but he's not there for the attacking. He is there for the Sun Cyclone. Our next mon is our Galvantula, who is a double type. He is electric and grass. He's a stage 1, has double thread, which is exactly like Hoopa, except he can't hit the active Pokemon. So double thread will do 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. However, this will apply weakness and resistance. So in regular play, Galvantula is very strong against Shaman players. So you gotta keep that in mind. He also has Electro Web, 1 lightning energy, 30 damage, so the defending Pokemon can't retreat the following turn. And our only final Pokemon that we haven't looked over is Drifblim, 100 HP, Psychic type Pokemon, stage 1. Eerie Wave is our first attack. For 2 colorless energy, we can do 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, which is a good special condition because, you know what? Maybe they have to flip to get that damage. Maybe they have to flip to get the attack too, so this just adds to the chaos of their turn. We also have Burst Curse for 2 Psychic Energy. Discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. Put 8 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. It's sort of like exploding, but we don't have to lose the Pokemon, we just lose the energy. I don't know how I feel about it, but we will see if it works out in today's games. Now, on to the trainers. We have 2 energy retrieval. If we have to use it, Drifblim's attack, Burst Curse, we at least are able to get those energies back with energy retrieval. We have an Evosoda for all those evolutions in here. We at least can get one of them chosen as we please. Will we get the stage 2? I don't know. The stage 2s are really hard in these decks. Now, what I didn't like about this deck is we got a potion instead of a Pokemon Center Lady. So we are affected by special conditions. I don't like that. I prefer the Pokemon Center Lady. You don't really get a lot of supporters. Like, there's only 6 in this deck. Having that Pokemon Center Lady would have given you that opportunity to use a supporter and have that opportunity to heal not only 60 damage, but remove those special conditions and give yourself that little oomph in battle. So we'll see how the potion works. I don't like it as much. Next up, we do have 2 Professor's Letters, which lets us search for our energy, which is very, very handy because, let's be honest here, Portal Strike is costing you quite a bit, Gigavolt is going to cost you a bit, and if you're really crazy, Double Hit's going to cost you a bit. So you gotta get those energies out as soon as you can. We do have 1 Ultra Ball, and like I said in the previous video, I'm so happy that we have Ultra Balls now instead of Great Balls or Pokeballs, because Ultra Ball, we can sacrifice 2 cards that aren't being used. We'll get evolution cards that we're never going to play, or we're going to get a basic Pokemon that's just not necessary, so we can Ultra Ball them away and get that Pokemon that's going to win us the game. So it's nice to have it. I like it. And as previously mentioned, Ninja Boy is the new supporter from Steam Siege that is being all hyped up. Ninja Boy came through in the last battle, or Ninja Boy did come through for us in the previous match, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure to check out the previous video because it is really, really hyped. That match was fantastic. But he pretty much lets us choose a basic Pokemon in play. So for example, we have an Aipom in the play. Aipom is not what we want. We want to get that Hoopa because he's already got 2 Psychic Energies on him. Let's get that 3rd energy going. So we're going to switch that Aipom for Hoopa. Flip. Aipom goes back into the deck. Hoopa goes into the position that Aipom was in. Now the only difference here is it has any cards attached. Damage counter, special conditions, turns in play, and any other effects are still on the new Pokemon. So if I switch Aipom for Mareep, and Aipom's been out for a turn, I can actually still evolve the Mareep. So that is actually really cool. It gives us a lot of different perspectives of these battles. So moving on, We have one Shauna. This gives us a little bit of hand manipulation for us. Lets us put our hand back into our deck and draw 5 brand new cards, hoping that we can draw into something that we need. Lastly, for the trainers, we have a Tyranno, 2 of them in fact, which lets us draw 3 cards, which is really nice. You always want more cards. Drawing more cards is always better, so let's hope Tyranno can come through for us again and again. Lastly, we do have the 8 electric energies, which is a little bit more important than the steel in the previous one, because there is more lightning Pokemon. We also have 10 psychic energies, so I'm pretty sure this deck will do alright. There is a couple really cool techs, some low-cost damage attackers, as long as we can get the proper evolutions off. I think the 2 decks that came from Steam Siege are pretty good, in my opinion. But the battles are what determine, can Hoopa stand up to what Volcania had? We're about to find out in a few games of Pokemon TCG Online. Alright guys, game number 1, we are going up against Lex45 and that Mental Might deck that comes and goes every time. It is literally the most popular theme deck around. We're going to go for Tails here, and we're going to actually go first, which is very nice here. We don't often win coin flips, but when we do, we play first. Okay, so we have a pretty interesting hand. I want to drop down... I want to drop down the Joltik. And I'm going to Ninja Boy right away because I want to get that Hoopa out. So we're going to drop the Aipom and keep the Hawlucha. So we see a Hoot Hoot, which is very, very good for us. I can drop down the energy. I don't want a Shauna. I want a Ninja Boy. And let's go get ourselves a Hoopa. Here's our Hoopa buddy. Here he comes, switches him over, and now we've got a hyperspace punching alien from another planet ready to go. I don't actually... No, he's a Dijin, not an alien. Come on. He's a genie, technically, kind of, sort of. What are you? You're a Jin, which is like a genie. We do see the Golett. We do see the Golett. So we get to dual draw, which is fantastic, because we both get to draw 2 additional cards, which is actually really good for us. We do get a second Hoopa. I'm not going to opt to play the good old Litwick. I'm going to play a Psychic Energy down. And I want to get that Hawlucha. Let's do a Sidon Cyclone. Yes, let's get that Golett up in the front, so now we can actually beat it down twice with Hoopa, and we'll be able to take it out. Hopefully in 2 turns. We did get the Psychic Energy that we need for the following turn. Should have played the Litwick last turn because it would have not been in my hand. But we are going to go for the Hyperspace Punch, which is going to do 20 damage to both. You are not weak to Psychic, you're weak to Dark. My bad. Either way, it's up in the front row now. Could have left the Hoot Hoot. Could have left the Hoot Hoot. We see a Kirlia, which he doesn't have the Ralts yet, which is fine by me. But I do know that once you get the Ralts, this is going to be a scary match. We see a Pokemon fan club, you're going to go for that Ralts. Very, very obvious. The Ralts is very important here. We're playing too quickly, I think, but that is my own problem and not so much the deck. But I'll be able to take out this Golett on this turn with the Portal Strike, which will put us in a very, very good position. We do see the Ralts and the Miltank. And I'll be actually damaging that Ralts immediately. So it does have the Psychic Energy. The Golett does not get anything. And I might just go for a Hyperspace Punch on the Ralts. I am forcing him to stay in. But I can kind of knock it out early game, which will be pretty good. Hyperspace Punch, we're going to choose that Ralts and the Golett. I just need 2 more turns and then we can take out that Ralts. I know you're going to evolve into Kirlia. which is something very scary. You only get a nice couple HP boost, but without that good old attack on the goalet, I'm not sure about this. Let's see what you do. Do I play the Hulucha? We're gonna play the Hulucha, see what he does. Yes, let's see what you switch into. You go into the Curlia, bad play. I'm gonna go for the Portal Strike and take this thing out. Alright, so Curlia is down. I did not play an... No, I did. I put one on the Ambipom. I got another Lightning Energy, which is fine. Curlia does go down, which is the biggest threat out of the way. He cannot go for a powerful friend, so he's only going to be able to do 10 damage to my Hoopa, which is fine. I can then go for a Hyperspace Punch, dealing damage to both of his other Pokemon, and putting him in a lot of pressure. We did get a Drifblim. I'm going to set up my other Hoopa. Let's get 2 Psychic Energies going. And we're going to start setting up that Hoopa. We have to go for the Hyperspace Punch, but I'm going to set up both of the benched Mons. So now they're both in range of being knocked out, and so is the Miltank, which is very, very good for us. Another Ralts does come down, which is not as intimidating now that I know one of the Curlias is gone. Psychic Energy drop onto the Ralts. Can we take out the Miltank? That is exactly what we're going to do. So we do get another Psychic Energy, so our second Hoopa will be set up. I do want to take out this Miltank before he fully evolves, and this is the bigger of the threats that are currently set up on the board. We get another Lightning Energy. No Lightning Pokemon on the field. That's alright. He does bring up that Hoot Hoot, so he's hoping to get a couple draws here. With that being said, I'm just going to target down that Ralts. I don't have a problem with you giving me cards. He does go for the dual draw. We can actually evolve our Lampent now. And we're going to fully set up our Hoopa. We're going to go for a Hyperspace Punch, knock out the Golett, and start damaging that Ralts now. I don't have a problem with that Hoot Hoot being in the active position. We do get a Joltik, which is nice. I'm looking for a Mareep. I am looking for a Mareep. We are going to see an Evisor come up, and that means he's going to have that Curlia. Thankfully, we have started damaging it. He has 3 energy on that Curlia. Gets an Escape Rope. We're going to go into our Apom. If he wants to take us out, he's going to have to take out my Apom. And then I can retreat myself. Nope, you're not going to? I will gladly retreat, my friend. Retreat out into the fresh Hoopa. As we start to set up that Apom again, I'm going to go for the Portal Strike and take out the Curlia. We're putting on too much pressure for our opponent to actually make a comeback here. So there it goes. Victory for us. Game number 1 is in Hoopa's hands. There is nothing my opponent could do. It was a little unfortunate. I do have to upgrade. I think I have to increase the volume of the in-game footage though, because I have noticed that there is not much of that. But we do get a couple nice things there. But first game for Hoopa worked really well. I was able to keep my opponent at bay, getting choices of who I wanted to attack, who I wanted to actually set up, and he ended up having to switch those Curlias in if he wanted to actually get anywhere with them. And I don't know why he didn't attack against the Apom. Probably didn't expect my retreat, but that's why I go into Apom. Apom was a fine sacrifice at the time, and with the energy drop, I was able to retreat out, get into Hoopa, and then clean up the game. So we're going to get into game number 2. Will Hoopa be able to take 2 games in a row? We're about to find out and see. Hopefully, in a second, I will have those volume control issues as well fixed in between matches. So hopefully, everything will be great as we get into the next game. Game number 2 is underway, and we're going up against Mental Might once more. This time from 0 for 52. Pleasure to be battling you, my friend. And let's get this coin toss underway. We are not going first. Our opponent will most likely go first here. He does decide to go first, but this gives us the opportunity to attack with a Hoopa! That is what I'm talking about. We will place the Litwick on the bench. That is all the bench Pokemon we have. Our opponent is selecting their starting lineup, only has the one card. It's a Miltank. So not the best starting lineup for my opponent. Does get the Psychic Energy drop down for powerful friends, but without any friends, he's not very powerful. So we'll be able to do 20 damage to this guy. We're going to set up... I'm going to actually hold off on the shot until next turn, as I do get 20 damage down. It does not stack because there's only one Pokemon, so Hyperspace Punch will only do 20 damage. I don't count that. Alright guys, game number 2, we're going up against Greekachu number 1. He's playing that electric colorless Pikachu deck I love so much. Not really, but it is a pain in my patootie. Alright, let's see what he gets. We are going first, my friends. Yes, we are going to go first. This gives us the opportunity to try and set up a little bit prior to my opponent. So, we have to rely on Ambipom this time, which is fine by me. In all honesty, it is fine by me. I will be putting the Drifloon down. And we're going to say pass on that because we have no more Pokemon. And he has a Druddigon. That is not very cool. But what is cool... Oh, I'm holding on to the Psychic. We're going to use the Lightning Energy onto the Apom because it's not as important. I'm going to grab myself 2 Psychic Energies in case we do manage to get a Hoopa. This way we'll be able to set it up pretty quickly. We're going to go for that Tierno. And we got a bunch more Pokemon, but not a whole lot of things that I actually needed. So I do have to pass this turn. Does get a Farfetch down, which is a good card. Rough Skin, though, is going to be a very big problem for us. Tierno gets to draw 3 cards for himself. Gets an Electabuzz and drops the energy onto the Electabuzz, which is a good play. Druddigon doesn't really need to attack. It's going to do enough damage on its own just by being in the building. Each Pokemon has no resistance. That is not a problem. It does get a Pikachu, which is going to be a problem if it gets into Raichu, because that thing is a problem. Roller Skates, he does not get it. I am sorry, my friend. Alright. We are going to evolve our into Ambipom. We're going to put our little Litwick down, and we're going to grab ourselves 2 more energy. One probably being electric, one in psychic. This way I can set up the Joltik, hoping to get that Galvantula love, but at the same point, I might want to set up for a Drift Blimp, as weirdly as that sounds. We are going to go for Furry Chance. Do we get an electric energy? No, we do 20 damage. But we're in range of knocking it out if I do happen to knock an electric energy next turn. And we're getting rid of Pokemon. He does get the Evisoda though, and that means the Raichu is now in play, which is very not good for us. It's just not good for us. Drops an energy onto the Raichu. Does have to pass the turn though. We have a Ninja Boy who I'm alright with this. Ninja Boy, you're gonna come up and you're gonna become a Drift Blimp, because that is what Hoopa likes to be. There we go. Hoopa is almost ready. I am alright with this. We are in a good position. As long as this Furry Chance can knock out this Druddigon, it does not. Come on, it was a professor's letter. It gives you energy, right? Right? I guess not. Okay, so we are currently knocking each other out. Another electric energy onto the Raichu. If I can get this, heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. That is just not cool. That is not cool. Does take another turn to try and set up. My Hoopa is set up though, so I need this Furry Chance to go off. Come on, Farfetch'd. It's a Pokemon I don't want to see on the board, but I am taking too much damage here. I will be knocked out prior to my opponent knocking himself out. Raichu is set up, which is not good. You keep drawing all these cards, and I don't want you to. You can have that, though. My Hoopa will be able to take that out. We are going to drop a Psychic Energy down onto the Drifblim, because we're going to try and get that the Drifloon. We're going to try and get that Drifblim going, if we can. Come on, for a chance. 1 energy. Max Revive is not an energy. We will not be able to take this thing out. We need to take out an energy. Max Revive, put a Pokemon back on top of your deck. Alright then, so we're going to go with the Lightning Energy and go for the double hit. Never mind. I pass the turn. I'm not... Knowing that you're getting that good old Manectric, or the Electric, I am not about to forfeit this turn. We get a Psychic Energy. I need to hit. I'm going to go for the double chance. I don't have a problem sacrificing. We do get rid of this Druddigon, which is fine by me. We're both going to take a prize card here, and he's going to promote that good old Raichu. But I'm going to promote my Aipom, which will be a sacrifice in turn. We get a Ninja Boy, which is kind of cool. That way we have the opportunity to get another Hoopa going. Or a Mareep, in that matter. He actually opts to bring up the Electabuzz. Now Raichu cannot knock out Hoopa. So if I want to try and set up now, this would be the time to do it. Because you can only do 100 damage. You fail on another roller skates. I apologize for that, my friend. I really do. I don't like seeing that happen to people. Okay. Thinking of turns in between. You do 100. You attach another energy to this. You have the ability to knock out my Hoopa. I'm gonna Ninja Boy here. And I'm gonna Ninja Boy my Litwick here. I just want to read Hawlucha. It's from your hand. Okay, so I can't do it. I'm gonna promote my Mareep. And I'm gonna go for a Fiddle Around. We're gonna see what my opponent actually is gonna draw next turn. I don't want that Evisoda. I know he's got another potential Raichu in play now. Does get the Pikachu down. Drops the Lightning Energy onto the Pikachu. Goes for a Light Punch. Alright, this is what we were looking for. We are going to... You have 80? You have 90. We're going to retreat into Drifloon, and we're going to evolve. Now, we are actually just going to go for the Eerie Wave right now. We're going to make him confused. He's taken 30. Drifloon can take this thing out. He does get another Raichu, which is very, very scary. He does land it. He's going to do 10 damage to us. That was not worth it. We are going to put an energy onto the Mareep. We're gonna drop... No, we're not gonna drop that yet. We're gonna go for another Eerie Wave. 30 more damage, so we'll be able to take out Electabuzz the following turn. This is a very intense match. Raichu is such a threat. I was hoping he'd land the... I was hoping he'd knock himself out. We're gonna hold on to the energy retrieval as I go for the Burst Curse on the Raichu. This is going to take a bit. It's because you get the opportunity to do a bunch. But in this regard, it's a good strat to get rid of this Raichu, and then we'll be able to damage up the other one if I can get it up again. Because I'm not threatened by the Electabuzz. Because now, if I wanted to, Hoopa could come up with a Hyperspace Punch and knock out both the Electabuzz and the Raichu. There is a Manectric on the field as well. This is a very tight match. I can Energy Retrieve next turn, though, which will start being able to set up my Driplim. He confuses himself and actually takes himself out. So that is that. We get a Psychic Energy, and we take game number 2. Would that have come down to the Raichus? I would have probably knocked out the one with a Hyperspace Punch, and the other Raichu could not have come in and taken me. So in a sense, I think we would have had that game regardless, and I think he did as well. There is a lot of really cool text in this theme deck. In my opinion, now playing it, I think the Hoopa deck actually had more playability and more consistency than the Volcanion deck. That is just opinion and based on my plays. Based on what you guys, let me know in the comment section below, which was your favorite, the Volcanion or the Hoopa. Like I said, based on my plays, I really enjoyed what Hoopa brought. We did get 2 wins out of the game, which is very nice. And it's a really good counter to the Gallade deck. It forces a lot of pressure on it, which hopefully we're going to start to see it actually diminish if this deck picks up a little bit. So we'll see if that works out. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will still be bringing you more Theme Deck Corner in the next couple weeks. I need to pick up the, I guess they're the Braveheart tins? The Pikachu EX, the Magearna EX, and the Volcanion EX tins all should come with a deck. And once I get a chance to actually pick them up, a couple things happen, so I won't be able to pick them up as early as I usually do. But once I do, those decks will come online just like these ones did. So keep your patience. I will be getting to them as fast as I can. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button because it is greatly appreciated. And if you are brand new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I produce Pokemon content on the regular pretty much 5 times a week. So if you guys are ready for that, subscribe. But until next time, time out.